Okay, good. All right, so welcome everybody. In today's video, we're going to be doing systems and talking about vagus nerve stimulation, best technology that you can get today, possibly, whatever is available, what is the best of the best. But before we get started, we're going to do our simultaneous squeeze. So if you can grab any kind of product you have or necklace or any device like of that nature, you're going to breathe into it and you're going to do the Valsalva squeeze, okay? So everybody ready? Breathe in. 3, 2, 1, go. Big breath in through the mouth. Sip of air in the top, and then you're going to hold it and then try to exhale against against resistance. For 5 seconds, and then slowly exhale. Just like that. Good. And I'm going to try to get my video to focus on my face. That'd be pretty cool if that could be happening. Good. All right, cool. Awesome. So yeah, today what we're going to be doing is a video on the top of the line systems for vagus nerve stimulation. We are going to be talking about the two categories of selection are going to come from ultrasound and from electrical stimulation. So we're going to talk about the top items, the top options for you. We're going to talk about electrical and ultrasound systems today. Okay, just getting that in the chat so people have that. And my chair is a little squeaky, which is a new thing. So that's fun. But yes, so for those who don't know what vagus nerve stimulation is how you stimulate your vagus nerve and you feel amazing. It's the best drug on the planet Earth. It's absolutely incredible and I love it. So vagus nerve stimulation all the way, baby. Whatever you can be doing to stimulate your vagus nerve, you should be doing it as soon as you can. Some of the best longevity researchers, the people who focus primarily on getting humans to live for a long time and to have them live healthy, are all stimulating their vagus nerve. They are all doing it, okay? They're wearing necklaces, they're doing earpieces, they're doing ultrasound, they're doing everything possible to stimulate their vagus nerve. So take a hint from people in longevity science that if you want to live a long and healthy life, you should be stimulating your vagus nerve. So we know that from that camp, people who want to live forever are stimulating the vagus nerve, okay? And there's no mystery. The longer you stimulate your vagus nerve for in your lifetime, the healthier and happier you're going to be. They're literally directly connected. There's literally no doubt about the science at this point in time that there is a connection there. Second of all, when you talk about people dealing with chronic health issues, vagus nerve stimulation is by far one of the best interventions that is known to man today when it comes to dealing with a chronic health issue. So if you have an autoimmune condition, if you have depression, if you're dealing with Lyme disease, if you're dealing with fallouts of COVID, any number of those conditions have invariably affected the function of your vagus nerve. Your vagus nerve, first and foremost, is not only something that you can interact with and stimulate, but you can also repair it. And that should be your chief primary function if you're dealing with a chronic health condition, is to stimulate and repair your vagus nerve, okay? So we know from a fact, longevity researchers, people who are focused on how do you get the human body to live healthy for as long as possible? How do you stay young for as long as possible? How do you weigh your best weight? How do you live your best life? The people who do that work professionally, who spend millions of dollars a year on researching, they are all stimulating their vagus nerve. And then when you look at the other end of health, at the lowest end of health, chronic health issues, you're also seeing people adopt vagus nerve stimulation in mass. So vagus nerve stimulation is going to be something that you're going to use if you're sick and if you're healthy. And it should be used in everything and everywhere in between. So given its importance for health, shouldn't you be looking to evaluate what the highest end options are for you? I think hands down, vagus nerve stimulation shouldn't be one of those things where you skimp out, given how important it is. We're not talking about a supplement. We're not talking about a 2-pound weight that you do bicep curls with at home, right? Vagus nerve stimulation is a medical intervention that's used for chronic health issues successfully and is used for longevity very successfully. And there are people who are doing vagus nerve stimulation who are tracking their biomarkers, their DNA, their blood work, their genetics, everything in between that they can, and they're all indicators of their health are at the highest end possible. And those people absolutely are using vagus nerve stimulation in their care. So you should definitely be evaluating getting some form of VNS. Unknown caller. You should definitely be trying to get vagus nerve stimulation in your care as soon as possible. So what are some of the options? Well, the two options, the two highest end options are going to be vagus nerve stimulation that's electrical, typically is going to be through your ear. And then the other option is going to be ultrasound vagus nerve stimulation. That's typically going to be through the ear or through the neck. Vagus nerve stimulation through the neck that's electrical is going to have to come down to an implanted device. That's the best. We're just talking about top of the market today. So I'm going to try to get some links for you guys to check this stuff out as well, so that you can see this, these products. Here we go. All right, so there's a company called Nemos VNS, and they're based out of Europe. And I'm going to put their link to their page here in the Facebook chat. And I'll also put it here on YouTube, so you can have that there. So Nemos is the most advanced form of VNS treatment that you can get today. You can get it if you're in the UK, Europe, but I believe if you do ask, you can get it shipped to the United States. This is an all-in-one device. It's got a very comfortable in-ear stimulation system, and it's very comfortable. It's the best of the best as far as that goes. Some of the benefits from that would be it's comfortable. It's not painful. That's the key thing here. When you're evaluating electrical stimulation, you need to make sure that it's not going to be painful to use. Okay. Next up, I want to focus on some ultrasound options for people. So I'm going to put some ultrasound options for you in the chat. So there are some really good options for ultrasound that you can get. The company that produces the best of the best. Awesome. Hey Callie, good to see you. Awesome. Yay. Good question, Kelly. I see your question. I'll get to it in a second. The biggest manufacturer of ultrasound devices that I would highly recommend is going to be Sonic Concepts. Sonic Concepts manufactures large TPO units. You have to buy the transducer separately, but the transducers are going to be, really high quality, really, really good quality transducers. I'll put their transducer selection guide in the chat. And so you can go there and you can order directly from Sonic Concepts and get yourself a full ultrasound system that's completely set up for doing stimulation. That's going to be stimulation through the neck. Sonic Concepts will support you through stimulation through the neck. Now that's the system that I use primarily, is the Sonic Concepts. And so it's a pretty big transducer that's going to be placed right over your neck. You have to get a custom made spacer, basically, so it fits right over your vagus nerve in the neck. But that's something that you can easily have manufactured for you from Sonic Concepts. I make those myself too. They're very easy to make. If you've ever watched an epoxy video, you can easily pour silicone. It's super easy to make. So Sonic Concepts makes some of the highest quality ultrasound all-in-one platforms. They also have turnkey systems. So let me put that here in the chat. Not that one. It's I'm just on their website here. So the transducers from Sonic Concepts are really good. You should be looking for the type of transducer to use. I would probably select a 4-channel therapy transducer from them. I'm gonna put that in the chat here too. Here we go. Just trying to find all my tabs. So therapy transducers are what you want to be using when you're stimulating the vagus nerve. Their therapy transducers you're gonna find a range of them. You don't need to have anything custom made, but you're gonna go with the H series transducers. These are transducers that are made to focus down to the vagus nerve right in the neck. You're looking for the focus. You're specifically looking for the application of neuromodulation, which is going to have low power, low duty cycle. Neuromodulation is the key selection criteria for a ultrasound VNS system. Good. So neuromodulation is the key term to use. There are other uses for ultrasound, but when we're talking about stimulating the vagus nerve, you need to select for neuromodulation, because we're not looking for thermal effects. We're looking just to stimulate the calcium channels to open and close in the vagus nerve, and we're doing some modification of enzymatic activity. So you only need neuromodulation power. So you only need things that are neuromodulatory in power, which means low power. We're not trying to heat. Don't go with anything that heats up your tissue. We're not looking to burn anything. Ultrasound does have the tendency to heat up pretty quickly if you're not careful, if you don't know what you're doing. But certainly with these devices, with these options, the TPO series, you're in good hands. The TPO brand of transducer power output control devices from Sonic Concepts are really good. Then the other best option is going to be here, vegushub.com/phase3 opt-in. So one thing that we're currently doing is offering custom made in-ear, custom 3D printed in-ear vagus nerve stimulation systems that utilize ultrasound. So these are systems that combine the best of Sonic Concepts TPO as well as their transducers, but these are made for in the ear. So I'll hold up kind of an example of what a 3D printed, this is a scan of the ear. You can kind of see it's a scan of the ear here. This is a plastic. This isn't what goes in your ear. This is just a scan of the ear. And then we take a mold out of this, and then we put this soft silicone that is the actual material that goes in your ear. But this is a scan of my left ear. So I'm just holding it kind of up to the camera. But what we do is we take a custom scan of your ear with your phone. So you'll actually take your phone and you'll actually take a scan of your ear. You'll get a 3D model that will get sent. Then what we do is we actually mold your ear properly, and then we put the transducer inside of the mold. And then every time you put the earpiece on, it's a perfect fit. And this does ultrasound, and it's in the ear too, which is the best of the best, because when you're going through the neck, there's a lot of things you have to take into account when going through the neck. You want some of the best stimulation you're ever going to get that gives you the most calm, the best effect possible is going to be through the ear. That's where we have all your afferent fibers of your vagus nerve. Those all go through your ear. Yeah, if you're looking for the effects that are like, I don't know how to say, the most profound effects, the most immediate effects, the most beneficial effects that feel really good. I'm talking like analgesic types of effects. You're going to want to stimulate the ear with ultrasound. So that's the best of the best. But remember, I did share the device a little bit earlier. And Kelly, I do remember your question. So let me get back to that in here in a second. I just wanted to make sure I get everything out here first. But let's see. The other one is this device. It's called the Nemos, and if you're in the UK or in Europe, that device can easily be acquired. I believe they just, let's say Nemos VNS. Let's see. Let me just double check here. Yeah, good. Cool. They're still rocking. They're distributed by a company called TVNS, and they're very, very good, very good stuff. Now, just so you know, if you did want to do something like an implanted VNS device, the prices on the implanted VNS are around $16,000. Which for some of you, might be in your price range, might not be. Yes. So I would say, in considering the best of the best, probably the one that we're offering for the phase 3 promotion is the best. Not a promotion. There's no discount or anything like that. It's just, it's the phase 3 option. So let me go back up here. I saw Anna, Kelly, you had asked a question. Let me see here. Okay. Do you know what diagnostic codes are being covered for some of these devices? I've tried tremors, cluster headaches, migraines, pretty much epilepsy. I think I get the implants covered. Yeah. So for those kinds of codes, yeah, no, the only code that's going to cover you is migraine codes, and those are going to be for the gamma core probably. But all I'm doing is just talking high end. I'm talking the highest end stuff you can do for the vagus nerve. So I wouldn't consider the gamma core particularly high end compared to the Nemos, given that it's a comfortable in-ear device. But yeah, implants are covered. You could consider an implant, definitely. Let's see, tremors, cluster headaches, migraines. Yeah, no, all I can say is some of these things. So that was one of the things with gamma core, is that their funny story. I don't know if it matters, but backstory is Electrocore is the parent company of gamma core that makes the gamma core device. So Electrocore, they went public many years ago, and on the New York Stock Exchange, is NASDAQ, but so Electrocore went public on the NASDAQ as a technology company. Their share price was about $200 per share. They were priced at that level because they were almost certain that they would get a Medicare code for reimbursement for the gamma core. That turned out to not happen. And since then, their price of their stock has collapsed to in the dollars, I believe, in a couple of dollars. Let me just double check that Electrocore price. Electrocore price. Yeah, the price of Electrocore is about $4.72. Their launch price was $235. So had you invested at as a shareholder in Electrocore, the people who make the Gamma Core and the True Vega, at launch, you would have lost a significant amount of money, unfortunately. Today, their stock price is hovering around $4.50. And it's only kind of trended downwards over time. But things could change. I don't know. I'm not giving you any investment advice here. This is just a vagus nerve stimulation thing. But yeah, so other than that, that's pretty cool. But yeah, I think that's the reason, Kelly, is generally speaking, you're really looking at you're really looking at just the fact that these devices don't want to be covered. So you wrote, yeah, I've tried GammaCore. It sounds like the implants of the ear device are better. Liked GammaCore, but I need something stronger. Yeah, I'd say in-ear, probably ultrasound. In-ear ultrasound is probably I would say the best as far as that goes. So definitely something to consider. I'll be talking about that all week, so don't worry. We'll be back again tomorrow too. I'm probably going to do 5 days of talking about the high-end VNS options for people throughout this whole video. But yeah, guys, like certainly if you're looking for the best, the Sonic Concepts TPO devices, the therapy transducers from Sonic Concepts are bar none highest, top of the line when it comes to ultrasound. So could be an option. They will sell stateside. I believe they will sell to anyone in the world if you're willing to pay the import duty on those devices, which is pretty badass. But I've used the Sonic Concepts ultrasound, and I was able to place it right on my neck, right on the vagus nerve here. And it provided like an instantaneous state of enlightenment. I'm shit you not, just like a kind of effect. It's very good. I mean, these are very targeted, they are very high powered devices for sure. Just, you can look at it. Look at if you can see here in the chat, look at the picture there. Look at that. That transducer is probably something that can fit in the palm of your hand. These things are amazing. They're really very, very powerful. Very, very powerful. So, yeah. But let's see what else. They also, Sonic Concepts does make custom transducers. So should you need something that's more custom to you, I mean, certainly, I guess it's worth asking. But I think for the vast majority of you, you're gonna only need like probably a single channel TPO ultrasound from Sonic Concepts. You can contact them through their website. Sonic Concepts will take calls. You can call them directly, and you can speak with their department. Let me just see. Sonic Concepts. You can go to, let's see, on their website, sales inquiries and quotations requests. You can go there and message them. Email Sonic Concepts here for more info. Good. So yeah, I mean, if you are really serious about, again, getting the best of the best equipment for ultrasound, and you really want something that's just gonna blast your vagus nerve in your neck, Sonic Concepts is hands down the best. They will make you something custom if you needed it too. And they're mainly just gonna provide the device, but some people they just want the device. They don't want any help with it. Yeah. Honestly, just say, Nah, we don't do. I don't really do for VNS devices. I don't really do an affiliate link, honestly. I have an affiliate link for the Iron Neck, but that's it. I don't really like doing affiliate links. You have to keep track of all kinds of stuff. I have one for the True Vega, but I never post it, honestly. I almost did it as a favor to the CEO. I was just like, yeah, hey, yeah, sure, give me an affiliate code if you think it'll help. So no, don't worry about it. Trust me, I'm supported. We got plenty of people in our program. So, but yeah, so Sonic Concepts, they will build you something very custom, very fair. I mean, they are very fair. They're US based, so if that helps, they're not buying a lot of stuff from they're not buying any of the stuff from China, so that's good. Sonic Concepts is all made local, US based from a manufacturing warehouse here in the United States. So you're supporting a really good company, people that I do know them, but they didn't ask me to do this, and this is not a sponsored thing at all. I just have used their products in the past, and I totally believe in Sonic Concepts as a for the technology. So yeah, Sonic. So yeah, again, top things for stimulating your vagus nerve. I would say if somebody came to me and they said, I just want the best, hands down, best of the best, I'd say you probably have 3 options. 1, Sonic Concepts. Sonic Concepts. You have the Nemos by Serbomed, in-ear electrical VNS from UK. I guess it's from the UK/EU. And then you also have the let's see, vegushub.com/phase 3 product opt-in. And so you can opt in for that. And if that's something that you want to join, we will actually scan your ear, custom mold to your ear specifically. I think we're the only one out of any of these companies that will actually take a custom scan of your ear and actually form fit an ultrasound to fit right on your vagus nerve specifically. So there's no guessing game. And then you get specific stimulation of your vagus nerve with ultrasound, which I personally think if I had the option, I'm almost always going to go for ultrasound above electrical stimulation. Which brings me to an interesting point, a predictive point here. You know how back in the day we used to have our telephones were hardwired in our houses, but we would have even televisions that could be taken by, like in the 70s and the 80s, we had televisions that were battery powered that we could travel with us. But our phones were hardwired. There was a guy who worked for Bell Labs at the time. I forget his name. I think it was Scott, like something Adams. And he made this prediction I thought was really interesting. It's very telling. He said that the natural direction of phones and television will begin to switch so that people will have TVs in their house that are more hardwired and will get very big, and telephones will actually become more wireless and shrink. So we have, again, how right was he? He said that our telephones will become wireless completely and they'll fit in our pockets. I mean, I shit you not. There were portable TVs in the 1980s that were battery powered that would use little antennas, and you could go watch a television set out in the field. Like you could go, it was common to have TV out in the field, but not to have a wireless television or not to have a wireless telephone. But that switched over time. What I think is going to switch more is this whole idea that electrical is something that you have at home and ultrasound is something you have at the hospital. I think that the switch is going to happen in the near future, within the next five years probably, where it'll be more common to find an ultrasound system at someone's house and to have a TENS unit in the hospital. A TENS unit will be something you have in the hospital, operated by a doctor, and those machines will be extremely hardwired and expensive and complicated. But at home, people will have just sitting on their desk an ultrasound, a highly complex ultrasound system that they can put right up to their neck to stimulate their vagus nerve and to image their vagus nerve at the same time. So I think that switch, I'm seeing the initial switches from that. There are ultrasound systems that are the size of your phone today. Now they're still pretty expensive. Some of these ultrasound systems that you can fit in your pocket are, around $5,000 to $6,000. But I'm seeing ultrasound systems come down in terms of price that can do imaging down to the $4,000 to $3,500 range for ultrasounds that sit in your pocket. They're more effective at home. I mean, if you have something that needs to be imaged with ultrasound, shouldn't you be able to do that at home rather than having to go all the way to a hospital? And if you have AI on your phone that can look at the imagery and tell you where to place the ultrasound, that's going to be, I believe, a way more effective form of medicine than the way that it is today. Like having to order a special ultrasound person to come into your room and takes hours to look at, when you can literally do an ultrasound you're on your own at home with a little bit of training or with AI to do it for you. So I think that's going to be the natural progression. So I think when people think like, ooh, wow, we've got the best with electrical stimulation of the ear, I assure you that the only way you're going to stimulate your vagus nerve, electrically speaking, is with something extremely complex and expensive. A real good TENS-based vagus nerve stimulation system should cost in the order of $8,000 to $10,000, given the complex waveforms that it needs to put into your body in order to actually affect your vagus nerve positively. Yet we're being sold these, $50, $100 electrical batteries, basically. They're not doing anything. They're doing very little. So I think that the whole industry is going to shift powerfully. But I think in the meantime, you can still get some ultrasound systems. But like I said, Sonic Concepts, awesome. If you want to be rocking like the Lamborghini style ultrasound, Sonic Concepts will hook you up. And they have systems that are made to order and can be delivered like immediately. So please get yourself one of those if you can. Otherwise, the in-ear ultrasound is an amazing option, a fantastic option. We'll have more details on that tomorrow too. So anyway, that's it for today. Wanted to keep today a little bit short.